Alright guys, this is my Boss Darex monster review. I gotta say I love that animation, it's so sick. And something I didn't notice before, I love the touch of, I think that's bones on his head that are supposed to look like dreadlocks, or the other way around. But like he's got chains, he's got a gold grill on his undermouth, on his his jaw. It's the funniest thing. I love his design. Let's do that one more time. Just a dinosaur breakdancing it down. That will never not be hilarious to me. But I'm getting ahead of myself. This is the monster of season 4 of the Galactic Era. Yes. And he's the Era Saga monster, so you're gonna want him to be able to do it. And let me tell you, if you got him, forget about the Era Saga. I think he's pretty good. So, Boss Darex. He's a thunder and light monster. MC Boss held all types of jobs, DJ, rapper, b-boy, until he found his true passion as a radio host. In his radio show, he plays the best beats, and he's also sort of become the voice of the people. His transformation into Boss Darex has earned him even more love and admiration from other citizens. Boss Darex Tour Life, this is his finisher. Applies 100% shield and stamina regeneration to one ally. Applies Megaton to itself. I actually think he can only do this to himself, just off knowing other Megaton monsters and other skills that say they can do it to other people, but really they can only do it to themselves. So yeah, pretty decent protection finisher. It doesn't have healing, it doesn't have regeneration, it doesn't have cleanse, so it's not the best. But it's there, you know? Now, let's check out his trait, his best thing to him by far. Rank 0, you have Hardened, an umbrella trait. An umbrella trait is always great to have on a Megaton monster, because you don't want them getting hit with every single thing you give them, especially if they give you negative effect block. Maybe your Hardened blocks it. It'll block out at least one thing throughout the entire match, you know? 20% chances 1 in 5. You have Taunt at trait 2, which I'm glad it moves back over here, because whenever they put Taunt in front instead of all the way at the back, it gives me OCD, because I want them to be at the back, you know? Put the most important thing first. So Taunt receives all single target attacks, so this will be really helpful with all of your dodge area monsters like the brand new Krills. This instantly makes him a must-have in my opinion. Although Taunt dodge area isn't as popular as it used to, it will be soon, and he is one of the only Taunt monsters to come out in a while of the element of thunder or light. There is Sparkus, but he came out a while ago, and I haven't been able to get him, so I'm not going to assume you were able to get him either. At rank 4, which rank 4 and 5 are more like privilege traits. You got to be really good to get that high. Usually you stop at rank 3, which he's really good at rank 3 without any of the extra perks, but these perks are pretty good. So first you get a 50% shield at the start of the battle. I personally think that this is fantastic, because this reminds me of Mouseron. In the Corrupted era, he started off with the Status Caster 50% shield, and that always, and I mean it, always came in handy, because you would have that one attacker who has planet busting blows, or he could one-shot your monster, but if you got a 50% shield, there's a good chance that doesn't go all the way through. Now of course there is Pierce, but if you have Pierce, then your Taunt monster is basically irrelevant anyways. So I don't know, I don't like going over Pierce. It doesn't respect all of the gimmicks in this game. I really hope they come out with something if they came out with something called Impenetrable, which basically blocks Pierce from going through you, and they made it really easy to put on your allies. Trust me, more people would play this game. So 50% life shield, I personally think that's amazing. And at rank 5, he just this is really good. I don't even know why they threw it in here, but it's really good. Damage protection blocks out 50% of the incoming damage. So let's get this straight. If you were able to kill this guy in one shot, but he was at rank 5, if you were able to remove only 100% of his life with, say, the shield slam from the new Captain Electra, you would only remove their shield, because a 50% shield with a 50% damage buffer basically means that every 1% of your life is actually equal to like 2, and the 50% shield, your max health in reality, due to how much damage they can do to you, is like 300% at rank 5 with the 50% shield. So trait, just amazing. I love it. Now let's go over his skill set. Man, I was real thorough with that one, wasn't I? So Jay's on my feet. I absolutely love this name. Applies blind to one enemy, applies a 33% shield to itself. I say consider running this. It's a 2-turn shield, as some of these are, but it's got a 0-turn cooldown, so you could spam it. And if you spam blind and protection, you're pretty well off into stopping any attackers game. So old but gold. You gotta love the names of these monsters they're like putting out right now. Deals low thunder damage to one enemy, applies daze. Alright, just another damage reduction. And that is his big thing, shields and damage reduction. Stay humble. Deals low light damage to one enemy, applies blind. So literally the same thing we just saw for 3 turns in a row. But you know, whatever. Like a Rex star. Deals moderate thunder damage to all enemies, so thunder AoE, although the damage is irrelevant, but it is 30%. And applies taunt to itself. Now this is something that you might consider running just in case they're able to trait disable you, or you only have him at rank 1 where he doesn't have taunt yet, which sadly is the case for me. 2-turn cooldown, maybe it's useful, but once the second you have him at rank 1, this is basically just an AoE, and why would you run an AoE on a tank? Pretty Draco. It's a thunder attack. Moderate light damage to one enemy, applies Megataunt and a 50% shield. Now I will say, I like this. A lot of Megataunt monsters, they just do like moderate damage, applies freeze, like Snow Abomination, or like Mare Modus, where I think it applies nightmares. Like a lot of people, they apply it and they give a dot, but they don't have any extra protection. So if everything was cleansed away and he gave himself Megataunt, they wouldn't have, you know, they'd still just be a normal monster with 100% health who can easily be wiped out. But with this, you get that oh so great 50% shield, which is really great on Megataunt monsters. Now I will say, not only is there Pierce and Cleansing, but there are even monsters who they just have the extra added gimmick of Shield Break and remove shield beforehand. But those ones are like few and thin, right? So 3-turn cooldown. I always like it 3-turn because it lasts as long as the Megataunt does. So you'll be able to chain it on. And the shield is good too. Bulletproof chain. This is a light move. Moderate light damage. So he is always going to be dealing out damage, which I actually like on him. Because when I think about attack moves on a tank, I'm like, if I have an attack move on them, I want them to attack the monster with Kevlar's Vest. I want them to attack the monster with Vada Magma's Triskelies, because I want him to tank all of these relics so my attacker and my support monster don't have to, right? So the fact that he can attack, apply himself a shield, so that basically all that damage hits the shield and not him, is pretty great in my opinion. So he applies blind and a 33% shield, 2-turn cooldown, 38 stamina. I think you're only really going to use it in the scenario that I just named, but applying blind is good too. This one is really good. Golden Smile. No damage, first off, so if you're tired of doing damage and having to let your shield tank the damage, you've got this one. Applies daze and blind to all in 1 turn, so you don't have to worry about applying blind and daze slowly and separately. You have 1 AoE for it, so they'll have like 75 or 62% accuracy with their damage reduced, and you and all your allies, just in case you don't do taunt dodge area, will have a 33% shield. I really like it. I don't like that the shield isn't higher, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. And then I'm running Represent. It is one of the basically not recommended moves. It's not one of his high rank ones, but it is really good in the sense that if he can only keep applying 33% shields unless it's this move, then I want one on a 1-turn cooldown, so low turn cooldown, that goes to all allies, you know, since ally protection is the big thing when you have a tank, right? So a move that can also help you protect your allies seems like a pretty big win in my book. And I think I can't sacrifice it. I have a strategy there. But yeah, I'm definitely working on ranking him up. I say you do the same because I really love his design. I love the monster. So let's say this time I fought with... And I love doing this in the sense that I would do PvP, but it's a bit too hard. So let's say you do have a dodge area monster in Krills, and then you have a non-dodge area monster in Clawgore. Two fun little abominations. So you do a big AoE, you attack, and then look. What is the worry here? Is it that he'll deny my allies? If he was an attacker, I would do a move that would give him shield. Now the big threat is denial, so you'd want to apply Megaton to like protect your allies, obviously, from that denial. Look at that. It all missed, and now for the next turn, I'm going to apply Megaton with a 50% shield, so any one of his attacks wouldn't do enough damage to me. Then I'm gonna, do a little bit more attack than yours, this is, just for whatever. And then I decide, hey, I'm a Megaton monster, I'm gonna be tanking all of his attacks, but I don't want to be denied. I'm gonna give him blind. And then all your attackers have this free range because they have someone protecting them. And then the second it gets around to him, he dies. So yeah, pretty hard to show off usually, like, tanks and Megaton monsters, because, like, they are literally there to tank attacks. They can't really be shown off that well. But this guy actually has some useful gimmicks in my eyes. In medium shield and, blinding, giving shields continuously to help with dots. He has two relics that really support health regen, so that's what I've done right here. Alice's and Brave shield, but you can really do anything of the sort. Do a high shield shield relic, and I have a special suggestion for what talent to run on him. Cosmonaut's Helm. It will not only help with stamina, but when the turn ends, applies life regen to all allies. Boom. I talked all that time about percentage health and how it is his biggest upside, but now you have regeneration. Only thing he couldn't do was heal himself, He can give shields, but if you can't heal your health, then you'll die eventually when the shields give out. But if you run this for 4 turns, because it applies it twice, after your first turn, so maybe your dots are tanked by that shield, it gets to you, you have the regeneration, it kicks in 3 turns, it wastes 1 of them. By your next turn, it reapplies it, so you have it for another 3 turns. So that's a total of 4 turns. So you have healing with the shields. That is what I'm doing. Blinding, shields, healing. That makes him a pretty great tank, an all-arounder. So yeah, pretty thorough video, I would say. I went through a lot of things. I'm really enjoying though making these videos much more complicated, going more in depth. Leave a like if you liked the video. I really enjoyed making it. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much. Leave a comment and I will respond. What are your thoughts on him? Are you going to use him? Is he just another throwaway taunt monster like, Goliath S was, in the same sense like what Clawgore was? No, not Clawgore. I meant, what's his name? Steelgoroth, Or is he pretty good? I think he's really good, but he doesn't do anything that will stop any meta mechanics. I think he's just going to be really fun, and he's got 2 elements that are definitely needing light monsters. So leave your comment down below, I love to hear it, and subscribe to join the Crab Army. We are, we can only go up, the Crab Army. We will reach the moon, so we're at 112 now. Subscribe before 120, and that's about it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, I was about to redo my entire outro. Okay, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you have a great day. Your favorite Omni-Crab, signing out.